I will give some topics for you all. So next day you have to come prepared and present that topic with everybody. Don't get intimidated. Simple ones. Based on what has happened in the class and what is your understanding. That's all. So because so that you share, you grow, and others listen, others also grow, and there is a nice interactiveness in the camp. And I will also be teaching 2 more chants which are there in your already in the kit. One Garuda Gamana Stotra, Vishnu Stotra, and Nirvana Shatkam. That stotram also, that chanting, I will be teaching you all in this particular class. So that this is a dynamic interactive class and 2 Vedanta classes. Otherwise, 3 Vedanta classes sometimes may become very heavy. So we will keep this particular session light. And any questions regarding this class or morning class, evening class, you can put it in the satsang. In satsang, you can ask any question, not only related to the topics here, any Vedanta topic, any Sanatana Dharma related, anything you want to ask, you can freely ask in the satsang. There will be slips which will be kept here, or you have the notebook, no? You just tear a page from the back and fold it into half and write your question. If you want to mention your name, you can mention. If you don't want to mention, that is also fine. So don't hesitate in asking the question, because only through questions we gain the answers and gain the insights here. And there is nothing called a silly question. Every question is a valid question because it is your doubt. There's nothing to feel that what will others think if I ask. Let them think whatever they want. Nobody will think anything. This is an environment where we are trying to grow together, help mutually. It's a satsanga. What is a satsanga? Everybody is interested in sat, reality, and it's a sangha. We have all come together to learn, to grow, to transform ourselves for better. So no need of any comparison or any complex, nor superiority nor inferiority. Just be relaxed and natural, and if you have questions, very openly you can ask in the satsang. Yeah. So we'll start the class with a prayer. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Join me. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'll be chanting the Bhadrankarnebhi Shanti mantra. Those who know can join me, others can listen. It will come by the end of the camp. Even in chanting class, it will be taught. Om Bhadrankarnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vridhashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarksho arishthanemihi Swasti no bruhaspatir dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So as I said, every Upanishad begins with the peace invocation, the Shanti mantra. And every Veda has certain Shanti mantras dedicated to that particular Veda. For example, the famous Sahana Bhavatu, you all know, is for the Krishna Yajurveda, for the Yajurveda. So for the Atharvana Veda, this is the Bhadrankarnebhi, is the Shanti mantra. So we will get to know the simple meaning of this Shanti mantra, peace invocation. So this sets a tone for what we are seeking. As Pujya Swamiji, Swami Sadatmananda ji was saying, We are all wanting Shanti. And that Shanti is in so many forms, but what are we interested in? The real Shanti, permanent, not Shanti which comes and goes. So in between the two fights also there will be Shanti. People are quarreling at home. In between two fights there will be some gap Shanti. Is that the Shanti we are wanting? Between two conflicts? No. We want the Shanti which is permanent, which is there all the time. So, in Veda, brevity is a very important factor. Rishis simply don't repeat words. We keep on talking and talking sometimes, but rishis don't do that. They are very precise and very accurate. So, rishis, if they are repeating any word, that means that they have a lot of weight, emphasis over there. Abhyasa it is called. The word for repetition in Sanskrit is abhyasa. So if there is an abhyasa, Om Shantihi, 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 if 3 times rishis are repeating Shanti, that shows that how important it is. What is it that we are actually seeking? We are only seeking Shanti in our life, peace. We are behind peace, but we do not know exact way how to gain it. We do not seem to know the actual exact way to gain it. We are searching here and there, but now rishis are pointing out it's not outside, it is within. You have to seek to know it. You know, in our stories there is this one species of deer where there is that sugandha inside its nostrils only, that harina. But it is all searching in the forest, thinking that this great pleasant smell must be coming from that side of the forest. It goes there, it doesn't find. It goes to east, it doesn't find there. It goes to west, it doesn't find there. Finally, only to recognize that it is ever present in your own nose, but you are thinking that it is coming from outside. So the Shanti also is like that. All the time we are thinking that somebody else has to bestow peace upon us. Or we think that somebody else is the reason for my Ashanti. Why are you so disturbed? Why are you not peaceful? Swamiji, my wife. Why are you so disturbed? Why are you not peaceful? Swamiji, my husband. So we seem to locate our cause for Ashanti in somebody or some place or somewhere else. But really speaking, they're all secondary. And you see, I'll show you, rishis have shown us how that is. Why Shanti, Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi is repeated 3 times? So, there are tapas, disturbances, sometimes coming from environment, outside world. Adi bhautika tapas, bhautika prapancha. We're all surrounded by a particular environment, and that may have lot of disturbances, and it disturbs us. The fan was disturbing us. So now fan noise is not there. In the process, maybe some people are uncomfortable with the slight missing of air. Is it okay? You need the fan? So there are disturbances in the external environment. To a large extent, we can handle it. If there is some noise disturbing us, we can handle the noise. If there are mosquitoes disturbing us, we can put the mosquito net or odomus or some mosquito repellent. So we can handle adi bhautika tapas and gain the shanti. We can gain the peace by handling this. But you see, how long you can keep on fine-tuning the external environment? Can you set perfectly, can you say you will set the external environment and gain peace? After fan, some other sound may start. If you repaired the mixer, then grinder will or some TV will come for repair. If you have repaired the boiler in your house, next some plumbing work, some other thing will come. So external environment, adi bhautika prapancha, there will always be some or the other disturbances. To the extent possible, we can handle it. So adi bhautika shanti. We want shanti, peace from the external environment. So we pray, let there be peace in the environment around me, in my house, in the surroundings also. Then the cause for disturbances sometimes which are there in the world which we have no control over. The first factors that we discussed are the bhautika tapas. We have control over that, some control over that. Now we have disturbances or tapa coming from adi daivika factors, natural phenomenon which we don't have any control. Suppose it starts raining heavily. What can you do? You can use the umbrella. But the rain is so much that this umbrella also is of no use. What can you do? No control. A pandemic in the world level. How much can you control? Individually we can do something, only as much as we can, not more than that. So from this adidaivika prapancha, the factors which we do not have full control over. So we want peace from that factors also. So we pray again, once again, to gain peace from all these adidaivika factors, rain, lightning, ativrishti, anavrishti, tsunami, all this weather, climate, we don't have any big control over it. So we pray that the factors over which I do not have any control over, that factor may include my wife and husband also. I do not have any control over. So I pray for peace from those factors. Now let us take today's example. Now, adidaivika factors are conducive. It's not, the weather is very pleasant. Somehow summer has turned into a very pleasant stay in the Gurukulam. The gods have blessed us with a very comfortable weather. It's not that it is raining heavily, not that there's too much scorching heat. There's no sound, absolutely no noise at all in Arshavidya Gurukulam. So external environment is set. And with reference to adi bhautika factors, you all are getting some good food, comfortable food, some comfortable room. So some of you had cold water bath, some of you had hot water bath, because first 3 buckets hot water will not come. So if hot water hasn't come, so hot water will come first 3 buckets sometimes because of the huge plumbing work. You may not get. Those of you, some people told me that they could not get hot water in their rooms. So at 4 o'clock it starts, the hot water, and you put some 3 buckets and then you will get the hot water. Titiksha, you have to wait for 4th bucket. So that factors is comfortable. I have a comfortable seat, I have comfortable chair, I'm sitting. Fine. But sometimes, even if external environment, everything is settled, our own mind can be cause of disturbance. Adhyatmika factor. The factors through which we get disturbed, that could be our own health of the body, physical health and the mental health. Our own mind can disturb us. Everything is fine, yet we are disturbed. Why? Because internally we have factors which can be cause of disturbance, which is our own mind. We will deal with that in the AMRITABINDHU Upanishad. So we want peace from even those tapas. That's why we again pray Om Shantish Shantish Shantihi, so that we have peace from internal factors also. That's why a Shanti mantra, to invoke the peace. Now Bhadram Karnebhi is a very unique mantra, very nice Shanti mantra. We are praying to Bhagavan. Guru and Shishya are together praying what? Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha. Hey Devaha, O gods, may we both, so Guru and Shishya together, may we both always hear what is Bhadram, what is auspicious. Today in the world there's only inauspicious thing. You put on a news channel, what comes? Only useless debates. They are acting as though whole India is burning and then nothing. Then you go out, everything is fine. But in the TV debate, they present as though tomorrow only something is going to happen. Today evening something is going to happen. Now, always we don't hear Bhadram often in the world, only Abhadra only we keep hearing. So the prayer is that may we get occasions to only listen to what is auspicious. What is auspicious. So Bhadrang Karnebhi, may our ears be recipients to listen to what is auspicious. What is auspicious? Shastra is auspicious. Veda is auspicious. Words of the Guru Mahatmas are auspicious. Words of the elders based on their wisdom is auspicious. May we gain occasions to only hear what is auspicious. And in this our context, may we have the ear capacity to always listen to the Shastras. Wherever possible, may we listen to the auspiciousness from the Shastra. Bhadram Pashyema Akshibhihi. So, may our eyes always see what is auspicious. May we always see what is auspicious. Sthirairangai stuštuvagum sasthanubihi vyashema deva hitai yadayuhu. So see, very unique prayer here. Yadayuhu. Whatever is my lifetime, I am not asking for lengthy lifetime, long life. Yadayuhu, whatever because of my prarabdha karma, whether it is 80 years or it is 50 years or is it 85 years, 95 years, 100 years, whatever, Yadayuhu, whatever is the lifespan allotted to me, may I have sthira angas, may I have health, physical health. For what purpose? To propitiate the gods, to always remember the blessings, to always be in a life where I am helpful through my health, by the strength of my body, I serve the gods. So what is the service to Bhagavan? What is serving the gods? The pujas, punaskaras, the homas and japas and all of it. Yes, one discipline. And whatever seva that you do to humanity, that also is propitiating gods only, is serving the Bhagavan only. Whatever is the lifespan allotted to me, may I enjoy good health. Sthira angas, sthiraihi angaihi. So all my angas have shakti, so that I am available to propitiate gods and also to study the Shastras. Swasthina Indro Vruddhashravaha. So Indra, Lord Indra, we are praying to Lord Indra now, who is also called as Vruddhashravas, who is very famous and who is very ancient. So from the time of Vedas, that Indra, who is always worshipped, Naha, may he protect all of us. Swasti, may he bless us with abundance of blessings. Swasti means blessing. So may that Lord Indra protect us by giving abundant blessings. Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaha. Another name for Surya Bhagavan is Pushan. Pusha. So one who protects us is Pushan. So may that sun god protect all of us. He is also called as Vishwavedaha. Veda means knowledge. One who blesses light of knowledge everywhere, because there is not a spot on earth where sunlight is not there. So my salutations onto Lord Surya, Surya Bhagavan, who is Vishwavedaha. Swastinas Tarksho Arishtanimhi. Tarkshaha. May Garuda, Tarksha means Garuda, may that Garuda Bhagavan protect all of us. And Arishtanemihi, he is called as Arishtanemi. Nemi means movement, Arishta means which is not obstructed at all. So Garuda's movement is never obstructed. That sort of a Garuda, may he protect us. Why he is never obstructed? Because Lord Vishnu is sitting on Garuda. So when Vishnu is going, no obstruction anywhere. So may Lord Garuda protect all of us. Swastinas Tarksho Arishtanemhi Swastino Brihaspatir Dadhatu. So Brihaspati, the Lord of knowledge. So Brihaspati is known as the teacher of the gods, teachers of the devatas. So he is the teacher for all the devatas. May that Brihaspati also protect all of us, protect me, my guru, and all of us. Swastino Brihaspati Dhadatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we always have peace in our life. May there always be auspiciousness in our life. See, this all the mantra chanting and all the prayers are based on also one of the simple paradigm. What we entertain the most in our mind, that becomes the predominant factor which is going to determine the quality of our life. If all the time the mantras are going on in our mind and you are able to appreciate the meaning of the mantra, small meaning of the mantras, and what is the quality of our life going to be? The quality of life is going to be auspiciousness. Because all through these prayers, what we are seeking is peace, auspiciousness, blessings, all that. But a modern person doesn't want any mantras. What does he want? Sometimes samsaris. Samsari means not one who is married. In Tamil, it is called samsaram or something. No, married person, something like that. Wife is called samsara. No. What we mean samsara is not a married person. Samsara means one who is all the time complaining. That is a samsari. What goes on in samsari's head? All the time there is some negativity, some complaint, some fear. What is going to be the quality of life of such a person? Is going to be very low, and that what is going to be the predominant factor in his or her life? Fear, tension, jealousy, and insecurity. That is going to be the predominant factor in a samsari's life. So, why these prayers, why these mantras? They bring a lot of positivity, they bring a lot of positive energy, not COVID positive, lot of positive energy into our lives. So if instead of entertaining some tension all the time in your mind, see always some back commentary is going on all the time, right? In cricket, match is going on, two commentators or one or two will be standing there. Oh, ball went at 36 kilometers per this thing. We see the batsman adjusting the bat. So let us hope that he does well in this test match. Last match he got a zero overrun. This, that, they keep on telling. Like that also there's a commentary going on in our mind. We are seeing, oh, this is like this. Oh, this should have been like this. Why they have put road here this side? Tea should have been little more stronger. Why didn't they put ginger in it? They could have put some masala, it would have been better. In that ashram, that tea was good. My wife makes tea like this. My husband likes it this way. That, some commentary is always going on. So instead of that, you replace that commentary with mantra. So when advice is given, you chant the mantra, not monotonously, simply something is going on in the head. That vision of that mantra must be in the back of your mind, so that these two commentators, which are all the time Madhu Kaitaba sitting here all the time commenting, they take the back seat. That commentary is replaced by auspiciousness, mantra, an auspicious thought, an auspicious prayer, an auspicious want. That's the role of all these mantras in our life. So in due course, you will be learning some simple mantras and chants, all of it. When you have in day-to-day practice, it will really help the mind to calm down. And it should be practiced over a period of time. 3 days you do something and they say it's not working, this, that. That's not the way it works. 3 days you do yoga and diet and you want 10 kilos loss. Doesn't happen. So consistency is important over a period of time. So that is the place of Shanti Mantra. Now, our focus is of course on Upanishad, is on the Vedanta, our spiritual journey. So along with that, I thought when you all have an overall view of Sanatana Dharma, overall view of our Vedas. It will be very useful for your own life, and also you all now today you do a 7-day course or 10-day course, have done Vedanta, you are all ambassadors of Sanatana Dharma. So in turn, it is said in Shastra, one loan you have to repay. Otherwise, you become the, what is it called? Person who doesn't pay back the loan? Defaulter. You become a defaulter. If you don't pay back that runam, it's called runa. What is that runa? Rishi runa. So we all have received this knowledge from rishis. If you do not pass it on, that means you become a defaulter. You have received, but you are not giving out, you become a defaulter, a fraud. No, that rishi rinam is very important to pay back. 3 rinam: deva rinam, pitru rinam, rishi rinam, sometimes called manushya rinam also, but all essentially deva, pitru, rishi, rishi rinam. So rishi's knowledge, how do you pay back the rishi rinam? By sharing this knowledge with somebody. It could be your son, it could be your daughter, it could be this thing friend, it could be your assistant, whatever. Even if they don't want, come tell, sit, I want to tell something, 10 minutes, tell them. So you have given done your duty, whether they got it or not, it's okay. You be an ambassador of Sanatana Dharma. In whatever occasions you get, subtly, simply you can spread. So that what are you doing? Are you trying to impress upon them or show off your knowledge? No. Simply we have to sow the seeds of love, compassion, peace, blessings, auspiciousness which are there in the Vedas. So in whatever way, whatever context you can do, you do it. That is a way of paying back the Rishi Runam. So if you open the Sanatana Dharma book, the first page, the last page of the last part, color print first page. So the Vedas are the source books for the entire Sanatana Dharma. So Vedas contain entire basis for entire our civilization. Anything in practice today in Hinduism, in Sanatana Dharma, you trace it back to the Vedas. And that Vedas are 4 in number: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda, Chaturvedaha. And at a time, all these Vedas were not categorized into these 4. It's the Vedavyasa, who is the compiler and the editor of the Vedas, who gave us this 4 broad Vedas as Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana Veda. So before Vedavyasa compiled, that's why he gets the name Vedavyasa. He undertook the great task because these Veda mantras were in different places all along Bharat. So some family maintained one set of mantras, another family had one shakha of Veda, another family had another shakha. So all this he put together and categorized into Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana Veda. You see, just to set right our kitchen vessels, such a problem according to shape, size, or in the office files according to different topics or accounts, so difficult. And what to talk about thousands and lakhs of Veda mantras if he has to compile under all this Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana Veda. That is the great task of Vedavyasa. That's why all sampradayas, you can be any ashram, any sampradaya, pays respects to Vedavyasa. You can be Advaita, you can be Dvaita, Vishishtavadvaita, Bhakti, Vallabha, any parampara. Every parampara on the Guru Purnima is Vyasa Purnima, irrespective of whatever is their ashram, they pay respects to Vedavyasa. Such is the glory of Vedavyasa. Now, how these 4 Vedas? Why 4 Vedas? So there are a set of mantras which are in the poetic format, which are Chandobaddaha. Chandas is the way of constructing a poem. So there are these poetic verses which are in specific meters in a poetry form. That set of mantras get the name Richaha, Rik. So that's why these mantras which are poetic in nature, that mantras Vedavyasa put it all together and that gets the name Rigveda. And Yajurveda, all the mantras in the Yajurveda are in the prose form, not the poetry form. You know the difference between poetry and prose. So Yajurveda has the mantras in the prose form. That's why it gets the Yajurveda. Esha Juhoti. These mantras are used for yajnas. The Yajurveda deals with a lot of yajnas. That's why gets the name Yajurveda. Samaveda. The mantras in the Samaveda, 90% are from the Rigveda only. Then these mantras are sung. Samaveda is a very beautiful recitation is there. Today, that Samaveda is diminishing. Very few shakas are left and very few Veda Patashalas are remaining which are teaching the Samaveda. We were running a Samaveda Patashala here some Puja Swamiji's time. After that, that batch went back to their native places. So, Samaveda are the type of mantras which are sung. That's why that Veda gets the name Samaveda. And Atharvana Veda. So every mantra is received by a particular rishi. It's not that they wrote the mantras. Suppose you some poets will be there. The poets will be there. They get an idea. Let me write 4 lines about sun. They will construct some poem in Sanskrit. That doesn't become mantra. Mantra means the rishis have received it from the Lord, from the higher power. And that rishis tell in the Veda, this is not written by us, we are telling as we have received. It's not that I am constructing these mantras. So in the Atharvana Veda, so there are 2 important rishis, Atharva and Angirasa. They are the ones to whom all the mantras, most of the mantras were revealed. That's why it gets the name Atharvana Veda or Atharva Angirasa Veda also. In some context it is said. That is the Atharvana Veda. Now in that chart, Rig, Yajus, Sama, Atharvana, it is there, Atharva Veda. Under that, what are the Upanishads, main Upanishads which are given commentary by Adi Shankaracharya, that is also given under that. So Aitriya Upanishad is from Rigveda. Katopanishad and Taitriya Upanishad is from Krishna Yajurveda. Yajurveda further has 2 branches, Shukla and Krishna. So Shukla Yajurveda is in the north part of India. Krishna Yajurveda is practiced in the southern part of India. So, and from Shukla Yajurveda we have the Ishavasya Upanishad or Isha Upanishad and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Kena and Chandogya Upanishad are from Samaveda. Atharvana Veda has 3 important Upanishad, Prashna, Mundaka and Mandukya Upanishad. And further, each Veda is categorized into Samhita and Brahmana. Samhita means that which is well arranged. Where the Samhita portion of the Veda is that portion of the Veda. Suppose you were to look at the Veda as a book. In many ashrams, even we have the Veda book in our ashram. At the end of the, next to the Shankaracharya, there is a Peetham in which Veda Bhagavan is there. So suppose Veda were to be considered as one book. So the first portion will be the Samhita portion. So Samhita portion is that portion in which the mantras are very well arranged, very well placed. And there is another portion called Brahmana. Nothing to do with Varna or anything. Brahmana is another name given to one portion of the Veda. That Brahmana portion is the prose portion. How these mantras which are there in the Samhita portion, how to use that mantras in the yajnas, that is given in the Brahmana portion. So in which homa, which yajna you have to use which mantra, that is given in the Brahmana portion. So the Brahmana portion further has 2 divisions, which is Aranyaka and Upanishad. Aranyaka means This is a section in Veda which only deals with upasanas or meditations, which are mostly practiced by vanaprasthis. So 4 ashramas: brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. So brahmachari studies the entire Veda. A grihastha, having studied the Vedas, does the homa, havan, whatever as said by the Vedas. We are all doing it, that without, whether you know or not, you're all following that Vaidika Paddhati in one form or the another. So in marriage, you lit a fire and then there was a small homa and you all took the feras around North Indian Sampradaya or South Indian Sampradaya. Where is it coming from? Veda only. So Aranyaka is a section towards the last end section of the Veda, where it is mostly meant for a vanaprasthi, a retired person, and there are only mostly meditations in it. There are only meditations. That is the Aranyaka portion. And in this Aranyaka portion, you find Upanishads also. Or further you can categorize another section of Veda, which is the Vedanta, called as Upanishads. Come at the last portion of the Veda. Why placement like that? Suppose even in modern day, last few pages will have the summary, Even if you were to read a novel, the last pages have the conclusion, where that story is coming to an end. So Vedas, having taken us through brahmacharya, grihastha-ashrama, vanaprastha, then finally wants everybody to be a sannyasi. Sannyasi what? In color clothes? No. Internal sannyasi. Everyone ought to be having a mindset of a sannyasi internally. Externally, where you live, what you wear, doesn't matter at all. But what is the quality of life internally? So Veda wants all of us to be established in the internal sannyasa. So it teaches us Upanishads. Upanishads are essentially for sannyasis. In the olden days, Upanishads were not taught to anybody else apart from sannyasis. Of course, we have incidences of grihasthas being taught. Sannyasi in the sense, one who is ready, one who is committed. So it can be a grihastha who is committed and ready internally. That person also becomes a sannyasi who is ready to receive this particular knowledge. So that is the brief categorization, brief thing about Vedas, and we will discuss more in the next class, in the upcoming class. Now, another sometime we will practice, I will teach you all another chant that you all have with you. If you take out your handouts, there is Garuda Gamana Tava, one single handout. Single page, Garuda Gamana Tava. You found out? How many from Rishikesh camp? So you all have learnt this shloka who attended my retreat. Okay, so further revision, practice for you all. So this is a small stotram written by Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamiji, who is the pontiff, head of Sringeri Sharda Peetham, one of the 4 Peethams established by Adi Shankaracharya. Dakshinamnaya Peetham, of course, Kanchi Matham also established by Adi Shankaracharya only. So this 5 Peethams what Adi Shankaracharya has established, one of the 5 Peethams, in one way of counting, another way of counting, it's just this thing. Of course, everything is established by Adi Shankara only. So that Peethadipati of that Peetham is composed this shloka. It has very good rhythm, very good Shabdalankara. Shabdalankara means, Alankara means what? Embellishment. So what we do for Alankaram, we put Chandanam or Kunkumam or Vibhuti, we put a mala and all that on us. So there is some Lakshanam. So we do the Alankara. So if you want to do the Alankara, embellishment of a prose or the poetry, what do? You put Shabdas, the words which rhyme with each other. Prasa, Anuprasa, all these are Shabdalankaras. The arrangements of syllables so that it gives a very rhythmic effect, thus making the stotra chanting very interesting. So this stotra I will be teaching, we will all learn. So I will just chant the first verse so that you know the tune, and later I will teach you all, and after that you repeat. First only I will chant. Garuda tava charana kamalamiha manasi lasatu mama nityam. Garuda tava charana kamalamiha manasi lasatu mama nityam. Manasi lasatu mama nityam. Mama tapamapa kurudeva. Mama papamapa kurudeva. Mama tapamapa kurudeva. Mama papamapa kurudeva. Jala janayana vidhina muchiharana mukha vibudha vinuta pada padma. Jala janayana vidhina muchiharana mukha vibudha vinuta pada padma. Vibudha vinuta pada padma. Mama tapamapa kurudeva. Mama papamapa kurudeva. Mama tapamapa kurudeva. Mama papamapa kurudeva. So that's how the shloka goes. I will teach now. You all repeat after me. Garuda gamana tava. Garuda gamana tava. Charana kamala miha. See, if you have to make mistakes, here only you have to make. So, without any hesitation, with an open voice, you chant so that you will definitely learn the shloka within this camp day. Garuda gamana tava. Charana kamala miha. Manasi lasatu mama nityam. Garuda gamana tava. Charana kamala miha. Manasi lasatu mama nityam. Manasi lasatu mama nityam. Mama tapamapa kurudeva. Mama papamapa kurudeva. Mama tapamapa kurudeva. Mama papamapa kurudeva. Jala janayana vidhi. Jala janayana vidhi. Namuchi harana mukha. Jala janayana vidhi. Namuchi harana mukha. Janana marana bhayahari. Janana marana. What happened? Oh, sorry, I skipped it to third one. Okay, good. You were all alert. Our chai helped you. Jala janayana vidhi. Namuchi harana mukha. Vibudha vinuta pada padma. Vibudha vinuta pada padma. Mamata kuru deva. Mama kuru deva. Bhujagashayana bhava. See, Alpa Prana and Mahaprana are very important in Sanskrit chanting. So, pa, pa, ba, bha, ma, ta, tha, da, dha, na. So, Alpa Prana, Mahaprana Aksharas, we swallow everything. So, and everything because of our this thing, not so stress in many languages, and especially advent of English, we have forgotten how to pronounce our own Sanskrit. The tongue doesn't twist for Sanskrit because all simple words in English. So we have to put some effort to get it right. So Bhujaga Shayana Bhava Madana Janaka Mama Bhujagashayana bhava Madana janaka mama Janana marana bhayahari Janana marana bhayahari Mamata kuru deva Mama papa kuru deva Shanka chakradhara Dushta daityahara Sarvaloka sharana Sarvaloka sharana Mamata kuru deva Mama papa kuru deva Mamata kuru deva Mama papa kuru deva. We will learn more in tomorrow's class. So some of you asked me that you introduced other Swamijis and you did not introduce yourself. Swamiji, we would like to know something about you. So for some of you Bangalore people and Rishikesh campers already know the Swami, and for the newcomers, I'll talk a few things about this Swami. So they call me Swami Sachidananda, Swami Sachidananda Saraswati. So in Arshavidya Parampara, all the sannyasis get the name Saraswati. That's the one of the 10 Dashanami sannyasa names, that Swami and Saraswati are same for everybody, and the middle name changes. So Sachidananda is the name given to this Swami. So I am student disciple of Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji and Swami Tattvavidananda ji. So like you all, many years back, my journey started of Vedanta journey in a formal way with my Guru, started in this very Gurukulam, in Arshavidya Gurukulam, year 2012 beginning. I came here in search of Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji. So I met him. The moment I met him, I knew that this is my Guru, this is my calling. I'm at the right place with the right person. And that moment itself, I told Pujya Swamiji, I requested him that, Swamiji, I want to stay here and study. So as a youngster, fresh graduate, and came here to study Vedanta. Later, I was studying Vedanta here with Pujya Swamiji and other teachers, and also with Swami Sadatmanandaji here in the course till 2015, 2012 to 2015 September. I was here, and I had the great fortune of personally serving and offering my seva to Parama Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati Ji. So till his last physical being, so I was there serving Pujya Swamiji. And Arshavidya Gurukulam is such a wonderful place where transformation naturally happens, and that too in the presence of master like Swami Dayananda Saraswati Ji. Things happened very quickly for me. Then after 2015, as a brahmachari, I moved to our Rishikesh ashram, Swami Dayananda ashram Rishikesh. So then there I was studying the Shastras with Swami Tattvavidananda Ji, who is another disciple of Pujya Swamiji. We call him fondly, he is known as Swami TV. Tattvavidananda is short form named as Swami TV. Swami Tattvavidananda Ji was teaching in Rishikesh, and now he teaches in Hyderabad and in our Salisbury, US ashram. So Swami Tattvavidananda Ji was a scientist in his Purvashrama before he formally took to sannyas. I was immediately drawn to my guru, also Swami Tattvavidananda Ji, under whom I was studying Bhashyas and Shastras there in Rishikesh. Later on in the year 2018, I received sannyasa, Diksha, in Rishikesh, and later on in the year 2019, I came to Arshavidya Kendra, Bangalore, and I was also teaching in Rishikesh and also being in Bangalore. So Pujya Swamiji, Swami Dayananda Saraswati Ji, established Arshavidya Kendra in Bangalore, and Swami Sadatmananda Ji was teaching there, Sri Swami Sadatmananda Ji, and later he came here as the Acharya, and I went to Arshavidya Kendra Bangalore, and I was teaching and traveling continuously there also, different places to teach Vedanta. And I also happened to accept the role of a Peethadipati of one of the Peetham, Sri Vasavi Peetham. So because of which I keep traveling to all the southern states to look into the temples and other religious and spiritual work. So presently I'm mostly in Bangalore, Lokasanchari, not in one place really. In Bangalore, mostly in Bangalore, teaching Vedanta and handling other responsibilities of mine at Arshavidya Kendra and Vasavi Peetham. And I keep conducting many camps in our Rishikesh ashram, and this is the first camp here in Coimbatore ashram. And also in October, we will have one more Kannada camp in Rishikesh. And mostly September, we are trying to schedule another Vedanta camp, English Vedanta camp in Rishikesh. So once it is scheduled, the information will come to you all through various modes. So that's the brief journey. So I consider myself to be a recipient of blessings and grace of Pujya Swamiji. So in the Shastra, Guru Seva is given utmost place in the Shastras. So that helps you connect to the Guru, because Vedanta is a live knowledge, not something that you read book and absorb. So you can get cookery, this, that, read the books and get the recipe. Some other mathematics, something you can read books and you can learn. So Vedanta just doesn't happen like that. So if one has to transform internally, one has to be connected to a Guru, so that the Guru becomes the live example for you to traverse through the spiritual journey. And the Guru is always there to see as a possibility. Yes, through the vision of Vedanta, I can discover absolute peace and joy in my heart. How do you say that? Because you are seeing your Guru being the embodiment of peace and happiness all the time. So that gives you an assurance that yes, if I walk on the footpaths of the Guru and the Shastra Vakya, I can definitely discover permanent peace and joy in my heart. So that's why Guru, the spiritual pursuit, cannot be done without a Guru. But today, man, everything wants to do DIY, do it yourself. So you see some YouTube video and try out a new recipe, do it yourself. You see some YouTube video and paint your walls in pandemic, do it yourself. That all you can do, very good. Good to have all that knowledge. But Vedanta doesn't work like that. You can use all the information available in YouTube, books, PDFs, WhatsApp, all that, fine. But finally, it has to come it has to be received from the Guru and Guru in a context, in a live context like this. That's why live classes are very important, because it's a living tradition. The Sanatana Dharma, which is coming down from the time of Vedas, have been transferred in this a live context, the discussion. So also there's a context to see the charita of the Guru. You see, when you're staying with the Guru, you see how the Guru lives, whether he walks the talk. You may talk big, big things, but not follow anything. But is that there when you stay with the Guru, when you're in close proximity to the Guru through the classes, interaction, this thing, you get to know that yes, here is a person who's absolutely free and living the vision, not living the talk, walking the talk. So that gives a lot of insight and transformative effect in a Shishya's life. So our journeys as sannyasis continue. That's a small brief about me, the Swami. Okay, so we will again meet for 4:30 to 5:30 class here. Now we will break for the lunch, and 2 to 3 will be small seva. Some of you maybe they will require just 8 to 10 people. So whoever is interested can come to our dining hall, near the dining hall at 2 o'clock. One of the kitchen people will give you a small seva. And another thing, students only, we will maintain the cleanliness of the lecture hall. Today they will give us the broom and mop and everything. So some of you can volunteer and help in the upkeep, cleaning of the lecture hall. Every day after satsang, we can just sweep so that all the debris, sand and all is gone out and the place is always kept clean. With that, we will conclude this session and again meet for 4:30. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shantish Shantish Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So every day we will have introductions from some of you also. So today now we have some time, we will have 1 or 2%. Please come and introduce yourself. A brief about you and what brought you to spirituality. You can take the mic from there.